All right, morning everyone. We're back. Happy hump day. Wednesday, back at the screens. As always, make sure you've gone through your normal process to get yourself ready. All right, starting off on the daily as we always do. You'll notice overnight, we traded fully pretty much the whole of the body of the previous day. All right, dips were found down here at the 5-day at this key level, all right, towards the 600, all right, just below it. 5-day moving average there. We also have a big value area there, which we'll go over in the H1 charts. All right, so that flush last night, there was a V-shaped recovery on that flush. We then made a new high. We've come back inside, and we're just dancing around the previous day close right now. All right, and some key value areas. So we're watching this. We're starting to run out of room for upside. All right, it's not to say it can't move higher, but we're getting kind of tight here to the top Bollinger Band, which today is predicting sort of 900. Right, so you've got like not too much further room upside there if they are going to do it. So just be aware of that. Be aware of where we're at. All right, if we move into the hourly charts and get a bit of a better picture of what's going on. All right, current week value. We built out a pretty big node here for point of control this week, right down here into the sort of mid 600s. And you can see so far every single dip into that has been absorbed, including last night's big V-shaped recovery. Okay, we went through it, found a bid on the next node, bid back up, reclaimed point of control, and then traded inside, yeah, you guessed it, yesterday's value. So that was just a quick flush out, and we literally went from value area high from Tuesday to value area low, just below, reclaimed, all the way back up, chop, 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 extend the range. Right, so technically speaking, we're bullish. All right, I would say technically speaking, looking at this, we remain bullish, because we're opening above value, above current week value, well above previous week's value. The problem is we're starting to run out of room, and there might be a failed follow through kind of move coming soon. So it's just something to be aware of rather than something to play. We're not going to be in a top picking environment, but I would say that up here today is going to start to become important, because if we see failed follow through right here and we come back under previous day's value area high, then there's a chance for that rotation again. All right, so this is your rotation. Basically, you can just call it 700 to 600. That is your rotational block. Your failed follow through is probably around 750, 760. All right, so if pops fail and they come back here, they can do a dance. All right, if they then lose 700, unless they do a little trap like this, which is very possible, and reclaim 700, that's bullish. But if they lose 700 fully on a back test, a rotation back down to 6s is possible. Weakness will start under 6s down to 450s, and true weakness will not start until we get inside previous week's range, which we're not anywhere near right now. But those are just some things I'd be cognizant of today. And if we move up, you can see I've got the 750s marked out. I'm just interested in this as an under over right now. All right, so you know, if I'm going to buy dips today, I'd almost like this to do one of these. Right, that would be really nice. Something reflush previous day value, grab it, and then, you know, come under, come back over, and then go. Otherwise, if the morning drive up to 750, 760 is sold into, I want to be very careful, because we might flush that back down. That is a chance of the counter trend leg there, back to 7s. And if weakness comes under 7s, you can look for 675s and then these lows again at 600. So that's what I'm watching for today, both sides. Like, do dips hold for this move back up, or a pop sold down to here, and then inside here, it's just a range. So if I'm short early, I can try and hold a runner to the low. And then down here, we can either look for this return in, or we can look for that continuation trade when we get there. If we get there, we might not get there. It might just be like, hey, Alex, we don't care about technicals right now. Thanks very much, we're going. And that's also very possible. Okay, gamma-wise, we've got a clear target up here right now towards 864. Basically, 900 is above that. All right, and this, like I said, is the daily Bollinger Band. I don't expect the market, it can come above this. I don't expect the market to close above 900 today. That would be a very strong close if it does. Possible. I'm just making you aware of what I'm thinking from a technical basis. Based on stats, it's kind of unlikely, but it's not impossible. Okay, let's go through the other indexes like we always do. All right, ES. A little bit weaker here this morning. Why? Well, again, Marvel is the one moving this market right now. So semis have found a bid again, second day in the row. You're seeing a gap up in Marvel. And you're getting the quantum names going. So IREN gapping up, as is NVTS. So kind of just sector plays here again. So ES a little bit weaker. You can see the big node here, 510. That's your chop zone above. All right, if we keep failing 510, you can see this high here. Right, if they keep failing these 510s, you're going to see downside pressure to 600. Underneath 600, I'd say this thing has a move all the way down here. And you can aim for these liquidity pools. So under 600, if you're still in short, you'd be looking for 87s and 77s, basically. That's your plays today. If they are going to absorb this, all right, you'd need a flush to hold and a reclaim really of 610, and then you can come and run out all these stops and come right the way back up for this cool wall at 635. Right, spiders. Same kind of story, gapping down here, seeing a bit more weakness in the spiders. You're basically midpoint right here. You can see resistance, 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 support. What's it going to be today? All right. Dip and hold and reclaim, bullish for upside move. That's your target up there, 761. All right. If pops fail early morning, if we go into like a rotation kind of move, if pops fail and you come under here, then you're looking quite clearly 57s. And then I'd say down here, really. Same as on ES, right? These would be your downside targets. If and only if you see pops fail, right? Otherwise, again, we're bullish above this, going for upside. Really, I'm going to let this shake out. We've also got lots of news coming here this morning. Qs, there you go. There's the relative strength off the semis. Right, got a clear target up here into 750. That nice big fat whole number on the Qs. This thing's just... every single dip is being absorbed. You can't ignore it. They're still opening above previous day close and previous day highs. So that's the target up there. The only thing that will change that again is if we drive in and we see one of these, I will consider a rotation. It's not my favorite play, honestly. I'd way prefer to be buying good dips in a market moving higher, but I'm aware of that. I should say that's something that's, you know, perked my interest, right, that I'm aware of, thinking I don't want to get caught buying up here and get the door slammed in my face. That's a better way of me putting that right now. VIX, all right, going box to box, like we talked about, box to box, chopping around here. We have to see if it's going to continue a bid over this. If it does, weakness in the market will start to slowly come in. Dixie as well, trying to get back up, all right, seeing that sort of turnaround shape on the Dixie. Right, back up to top side of the range. It needs a breakout here. That again would be weakness in the market if that happens. All right, I'm going to show you the semis quickly before we go through everything else. They're still holding very well. So you can see another gap up on the semis. Right, there's your gap right down here. I mean, it's a massive gap. Building out liquidity. They look pretty strong. I said pre-market to the team, 280 is going to be your over-under. All right, that's the dance. They're dancing around the 280s. If they can keep going, they've got targets above. If pops fail, if you see semis like squeeze out and then they go, oh, running out of juice, close the gap. We are rotating within the semis right now. Okay, so maybe NVIDIA, we'll have a very quick look at these. All right, NVIDIA holding the print, opening up flat. Marvell will be the one gapping. If it's holding the print, there you go. It's another gap on Marvell. All right, that's gap. Right, so they're rotating out of some of these things inside of semis, so internal rotation basically inside of the semis, like AMD gapping up. So these, look at these two, much stronger than NVIDIA, for example. INTC gapping up. All right, so you can see where the bid's coming from. I would say, like, these are the things that matter. Do we see a rotation in here? All right, and does that mean that the semis as a whole sort of cool off? I don't know, folks. Like, I think it's gone further than people had imagined. Right. Mag. All right. Apple, great drive out yesterday, coming back towards highs. It's pulling back now. It's very simple. Can it hold this range? All right. Does Apple hold dips into 12? If the answer is yes, then you're bullish on Apple, looking for upside. That's the easiest move. You're looking for that right now. If it fails 12, you're coming right back down into this slot. You don't want to touch that. So ideally, they just hold the 12s and you bid it back up. Amazon, and this thing continues to show some weakness here the last few days, which I'm somewhat surprised about. But we'll see. Let me just zoom this out. Yeah, still in this range. If it starts to lose this, you're going to see this flush. Otherwise, maybe we can get an undercut in one of these and a reclaim and go back upside. It doesn't look great, that for the bulls. Really does not look good. Goog, just trying to find a bid. You can see the area that I'm interested in down here. Right, I want to see if it comes down and into that. It might have just missed me. It might have just missed me, but I'm waiting to see if we can do one of these down here for this drive back up to grab it, swing long. But at the moment, not quite coming to the area. It's got close. We're starting to see an early reaction, but it is gapping down, trying to close its gap right now before the open. Meta, all right, still in a bit of a 2-day range here after a big push and a big fail. Just zoom out of this, see where we're at. Yeah, you can see. That's a problem. That is a problem, because if it was strong, it should have held the top of this range. That is a problem. And this can be the spring now to do this, which is concerning for Meta, I would say. Nvidia, we've just gone over, but we'll go over it again in the mag. All right, opening up flat right now. Big drive out. Building liquidity. I'd say all holds over 17s look pretty good to complete this move. If you start to, you know, after this turnaround, right, all holds here look good for upside. If it starts to lose 17s on a back test, that would be, again, a problem. That would be a bit like Meta breaking out and then giving it all back. That won't be strong. Tesla, okay, we're just, there you go, full 20s. We're just stuck to it again. So it did do that move the last few weeks, and it's come right back in to the full 20s. This is going to be key. This is where it's going to chop and make its decision for what's next. It always does this at full 20s. I don't know why. For as long as I can remember, it's done it at this level. All right, some of the software names, they are trying to go with IGV. All right, Oracle, looking good, building out that bull flag. Lots of names like this. Still seeing weakness in Netflix. It's still selling off. They have a big board meeting tomorrow, so we'll see if that's a response from that. Still holding the old pivot, but I'm surprised they're still selling it, but maybe they got to close this gap. That was a big move up. Okay. God, this looks ugly up here, man. Makes me want to take the flow zones off altogether. All right, into this key level. So we're opening up at a pretty key spot here. And I would see it's kind of interesting. At the open, they're either going to do this, I would have thought, and come straight back down in, or they're going to just go on a giant squeeze at the open if the semis all catch a bid at once. And this is the overnight range. And if we lose this, all right, what I'd like to do, if they're not arseholes and do it pre-market, if they do this and fail, and I see buyers get stuck, I'm interested in a sell. It's risky down towards here, because then I'm in early if they do collapse this. If they get over this, I'm not interested in anything. I would need to see like multiple pushes and buyers get stuck for this move here. And that would be my low hanging fruit. And that would be the extension down into some of these TPs. And then if they bid this here or down here, then I'll buy it back up again. Don't really want to buy over this today is what I'm trying to say. I'd much rather we come down into these for me to be a buyer today. But who knows? Who knows what they're going to give us? Make sure I'm on the right charts here. I should say some of the news that came out overnight. We have more news coming this morning as well. Let me just remind myself what time that is, so that you guys are prepared. 9:45 PMI, and then ISM 10 o'clock, and then global PMI 11 o'clock. So lots of news this morning to be aware of as well. And if you are interested in trading with prop firms right now, there are still some great sales going on. I didn't read the announcement, but guess what? Apex extended its 90% sale. I mean, I don't think they're doing themselves favors doing that all the time, to be honest. Do I take settlement into consideration? Yes, that's why that yellow line is PDC is based on settlement price. All right, 20 seconds, folks. Let's focus in here. See if they morning drive is sold into, or if it's a full reclaim over previous day high and they're just going to rip faces this morning. We're about to find out. SPY's opening up at that key point. Qs look strong. SOXL looks pretty strong. There's the rip then. So no sales on this. Hands off. We said it's going to do one of these things, and here it goes. So up towards the top side. SOXL absolutely ripping faces since it reclaimed 280. So 85's next, and then 90s. Failing top side of this range. I will mark this out as it is an overnight high. Just we've got something. Let me get some volume on here. And then just let this settle down. All right, that's a big push and fail on SOXL. Straight back into and under 280. So I'm actually interested in the sell if they can't hold the bid here on SOXL. Because that is a pop and a fail. What's the rest of the market doing? IGV also in a sell. So we'll see. If we come back under the 250s and start to sell, I'll look to sell pops. Big level here, SOXL. You're going to have to make your mind up. So it cleared out the highs, came under 280, flushed down to the lows, held 275, back testing 280 now. It's going to have to make its decision here. I'm not selling anything unless we come under this, to make that clear. I don't care if we do that. I won't be selling it. If we come under this, I'll consider this move. Not beforehand. Otherwise, this thing can squeeze if they've used that dip on SOXL to trap. Just opening up. Pop the top side, come to the bottom side, back into the middle. Not really knowing what it wants to do right now. Give a readout on the MAG. Tesla 1.14% up. Nvidia 0.25% down. Microsoft 0.65% down. Meta 1.30% up. Google 0.73% up. Amazon 0.33% down. Apple 0.11% up. Lots of big buyers up here at the highs. ES starting to get going, trying to get back towards its VWAP. SOXL's not moving right now. IGV still gapping down, not closed its gap. Do they need to come all the way up here? Is this an options play? I won't be bidding this right now. This is way, way, way too mental for me to bid on. The bid for me needs to be down here or down here. They can squeeze this out as long as they want without me. That's absolutely fine. I won't be chasing. Good drive out from ES, coming up towards VWAP here. See if they react at VWAP or reclaim. Stocks all just stuck at that 280s, so it's going to have to make a decision soon. Remember, I think 900 is basically the top side that we can go today. Starting to see a little wiggle here on the tape both sides. There were very big buyers came in up there. I'd say if we start to move under 80, they're going to feel the pressure. More big buying up here. They are psychopaths buying this much up here. What are you doing? Even I don't want to buy up here. Maybe you know something I don't. Very possible you know something I don't. I would say under 80s, so we're going to move to 50s pretty quick. If they keep holding 80s, buyers remain feeling comfortable. Yes, not quite a VWAP, it's almost there. Here's the 80s test. This is where they started bidding heavy. If they lose this, they probably come back down towards 60s and 50s. If they lose 60s and 50s, I'm interested in the sell. To make that very, very clear. Here we come, coming down towards 60s and 50s. Now, if they don't hold the print here, I'm interested in the sell. So they can print this right back up here, so I'm going to have to wait for this to break under and show me that it's staying heavy. I do not want to get caught here. 50s, wanting to sell this now, adding into this selling now. And if we back test and stay heavy, it would be great. We can stay heavy at 50 to 70. I'm going to add. Here we go. So I'm looking for covers down towards previous day value area high. There's a big seller down here. I don't want him to be caught. This is what we talked about this morning. So I'm looking for covers down here and then see if we can hold inside the range. Beautiful. Bit of a bid here. Beautiful. Right, let's see if we can get a little bit further, covering some into previous day value area high here. Thanks very much. And I expect the bid to come in here. If it doesn't come in, we're going to rotate yesterday's range, which will be absolutely wunderbar wonderful. It's what we would like to do. So plan playing out perfectly here by being patient. So covering a lot here, and we'll see if we rotate yesterday's range, which we did pre-market. There's your 50 points. Let's see if we can get all the way down to 600, or at least down to 670s. Here we go. Lots of big sellers coming in here. Be careful, folks. We don't want them to get trapped. We want them to be in the money. So far, I'd be very careful of a reclaim of value here. Some very big boy sellers coming in here at 93s. Don't really want this to reclaim 14s. Let's go. Can you give me more? Beautiful, beautiful. Let's go. So looking for 70s, and then I'm going to look for 600s. Let's fucking go. Who teaches you like this? There's your day done. Right, there's next cover, and after this, I'm looking for down here, folks. Who gives you these clean calls in the morning? I'm just interested. Who's smart enough out there to give you this for free? Thanks very much. Thanks very much. All right, so down to small size. If we reject here, I will continue to sell. If we start reclaiming 707s and up, then we probably go 750s, and I'll cut over that, and I'll re-add if I have to. If I think we're going to continue to rotate, all depends how this book sort of plays out here. SOXL diving down. It's exactly what we wanted to see. Can we let go of point of control here from current week and previous day? And if we can, we're going to get 600s. If we can't, this is a thick area. If we can't, we're going to probably see a move back towards low 7s. So they're holding POC for now. So this is current week and previous day. It's a big level. So I'll be watching now to see if we can build something out here to do this, or if we're going to go reclaim back up if this is the morning dip which is absorbed. So this is my over under now into here, watching this. So I will stop out if we start reclaiming. If I see pops start to be sold, I'll try and add. I did sell that pop into 7s. Not willing to add yet. There's lots of liquidity at these lows being absorbed. See if we can accelerate away from it a bit. We need a clean break of 660s, basically. Otherwise, there's a huge amount of selling down here that's currently being absorbed, folks, underneath the 85s. There's still a bid on the tape. I want to add. I think we're going to break. Here we go. Do not want to see this get absorbed here. Let it go. Got to stay heavy now versus 80s. I did add down there at the lows because I thought we were going to snap harder. I will cut at 80s. I'm not going to give my average back. Here's the 80s. All right, out. Tried to get aggressive there as we got under those guys. So we're coming back to 7s now. Flat on this, and then I'll make a decision up here. If we transfer back above previous day's value, did ES come back to the 5-day? Where's SOXL coming back to 75s? I think there's still chance for lower if we resell either here, or if we pop up here and then sell back down, but that will be a reclaim of range. So I want to be very careful about thinking about that. But main targets are done. You long to that? No, it's a good long, but the safer long is a hold above value. I mean, I hate getting long on a flush to a previous day point of control. I think it's very risky. But if they hold value here, it's probably a good long. And I would be very careful up towards those 50s again. If they can't hold value here, it's going to be problematic for you. But there, I would say there's a huge amount of selling now caught underneath here, right down here. Big selling under here as we've transferred back up. So I'd say there's a chance to revisit higher, but just be careful. Just be careful because the tape's washing both ways. You didn't fill the gap on the semis either. Meta having a decent morning here. AMD showing some strength. The rest of the market does not look good, really. Google holding up, Apple flat, Tesla 1% down, Nvidia 1.54% down. So they're doing what we talked about. They're doing the internal rotation within the semis. So they're selling Nvidia and buying AMD, for example. So there's a lot of internal rotation within the actual funds themselves. All right, or its sectors themselves. That's the hold of value. All right, if they hold this, you can bid this. If they lose this, be very careful. I'm not going to bid this. I think the momentum feels a bit scary to me to bid on right now. I know there's sellers caught the lows, but the momentum doesn't feel good when I look at the broader sectors and charts right now. It feels a little bit scary for me to think about bidding this. And I'll wait to see what they do with this liquidity here. No doubt about it, there's sellers caught under value, but I just wonder if today is the day where those pops are sold into and dips keep dipping. We talked about it yesterday. There will be a day where dips keep dipping because buyers are getting so used to it. I just wonder if they're going to catch them off guard here. Big buyer stepping in again here at 707s. Huge bid. Wow, what a bid that was. Well, someone said hold my beer at value there. He was very aggressive. This is very, very, very washy, folks. I'll remind you, we've got news coming in 20 minutes here as well. It is just 10 o'clock, is it? Or is it 9:45 and 10? 10 o'clock. I'll just remind you, we've got news at 10. Decision point for this market here. ES fresh lows. ES trading lower. This is all about these semis. The rotation in the semis right now. If they stop rotating and they start selling in unison, this thing is in trouble. I don't know what they're going to do. I'm just saying if they do that. Notable bid right now, holding up previous day value. Right here. The notable bid here. If he gets out of the way, I'd be very careful for you guys who are dip buying this. I'm not dip buying this right now. I don't like this tape right now. It feels scary to me. Yes, fresh lows again. It feels scary. I think there's more likely to be pain here at the moment. I'm just wondering if this dip buyer leaves the tape. He's definitely here, but I just wonder. You just wonder, are you going to see fresh lows here with ES? ES coming to 600. If it lets go 600, this thing is cooked. So that's the P1. That's your put wall 1 at 600 on ES. Spider's coming into its 5-day. It's found a bid right on the 5-day right now. Hasn't quite hit its P1, which is 757 for Spiders. I got a bad feeling about this for this long. I think he's going to get hurt. I want to see if there's a way of me getting re-involved here. So my eyes were not deceiving me. This is where the sellers are caught. So if the next pop is sold up towards 705, I will actually consider trying to sell that for a break underneath point of control. Don't want to chase you. Don't go without me. Don't. Please don't. Don't. You're going to fill everyone underneath, aren't you? You'll go in. Here you go. This thing's about to create a big wash. Oh, I need to get in. You've got to pop for me to get in. I really don't want to chase you down here. This thing's about to melt, folks. This thing is about to melt, I think. If they let go of 600 on ES, it's going to tank this thing. Yeah, that's under 600. This thing's going to go night-night. I'm looking for a pop-up to sell and see if we can get down to 600 for ourselves. There's the breakaway. Oh, mate. I'm having to like chase small here for the move to 600. Here we go. I'm in smaller size than normal because it's a breakout short rather than a pop up and sell short. Trying to see. So grey box is important. I'm trying to see if we can get down into here. Previous day's value. Here we go. I warned you. I just had that feeling that today might be the day. Just from how we opened up. Okay, we're about to close the gap and come into previous day high here on the semis. Expect a reaction down here, so I'm looking to cover some into sixes. I'm smaller size than I want to be. Expect a reaction here. I've taken a little piece off. We'll see how we trade up to 680s here and if they resell that now as well. They're not done with it. They are not done with this. Here we come. Sixes. Can we get a fill down here? Big seller down here. Just give me a fill at sixes and then I'm runners only. Here we go. Missed my fill. Come on. You're going to make me sell. Come on. Don't. Give me a fill down there. What a fuck. Give me a fill. Can I get a fill, please? If we don't break the low here, I'm going to have to take it off. Take some off because I'm not getting the fill where I want. Come on. Here we go. Here we go. There we go. Thank you. All right. Runners only now. We'll see if we expand this range. Next target's 53s. Daddy likey. I don't care what happens now. I absolutely smash the shit out of that. Thanks very much. Well over 100 points. You are 16 minutes into your day. You're welcome. Semis under PDC. They've gone red on the day now. Dips keep dipping. It's one of those days. I said it's going to come, folks. Dips keep dipping. Today's the day. Right now where dips keep dipping. They get so used to buying everything. Even that big boy buyer came in. Once they don't get their way, they suddenly are like, what's happened? This isn't how the market works. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. That 750s was key this morning. We called it right here. Right, we drove over it, we came under it, and now we're selling. It was absolutely key. And your runners only now. Your runners only now. Oh my God, semis look weak. Right, previous week high is 36s. For your next target. This thing just keeps smelting and smelting. Let's see if we can get down here. I'd like a pop. I'd like some pops up. Big selling at these lows. I want to see some pops up. They are literally just dumping everything right now. I want to see a little pop up to get some more size on. Because I'm down to tiny size. Previous week high, remember 35-ish. This is previous week open. Previous week high coming up. We might get a pop from this. If we don't, then we're going to come right down into the low side of current week range. So we're into a very thick node here. Make sure you're zooming out on the hourlies. Right, big node here. We expect some kind of reaction. Right, in here. Right, ideally we see this, something like this to sell. If we're going to go sell. If we reclaim this, you want to be careful because we can come back in range. So that can be a swipe and a hold of range and a dance in here again. I think there's a chance to come here. Now, the big sell comes under this, all right? The big sell comes under this, because then we leave everyone trapped. I'm not saying we do that today. It's very unlikely. I'm just saying that's where the pro trend starts to shift. All right, previous week high now hit. They are still selling. There is not a pop to be seen here. Not a pop to be seen. So next target's this grey box, 66s. Wow, what a melt. What an absolute melt. Told you I didn't think today was the buy. Even when it was there, it just said it doesn't feel right to me. It feels like someone's going to get hurt. Right, let's see if we can pop back up now. Why is my aircon on at the worst time? Move my stop in. Turn this off, we'll be right back. Right, let's see if we can get a drive back up towards previous day's value, somewhere up here. All right, see if we can get something up here to resell. monster trade this morning. You should be pretty much done, right? And we'll see if another opportunity shapes up. But that's what we're looking for. It's beautiful. Previous day low now hit ES as well. So low hanging fruit taken there as well. We really need a drive up here. We need a drive up here. We don't really want to just keep extending, which is what it looks like it wants to do. It just wants to keep puking. We actually need a drive up. There's lots of big selling down here at the moment. So there's your 500 hold number. I really want to sell back towards 600s. If we can get back towards 600s, I'm interested in a trade. You can be done with this now if you want, honestly. You can be done with this trade and wait. It's a very good move. Locked yourself out for the day? Are you in a sell, Alex? No, I was bidding the whole way down. Is that a serious question? I don't know if that's a serious question or not. Sometimes I think you guys just come in here to wind me up. Yes, I told you short. The moment we let go 750s, I was looking for short. And then I had to join short at 668s because it wouldn't give me the pop I wanted. All right, here's the return back up towards 6s. So let's see if we can lift anywhere from 55s to 6s. I'm interested if they start to trap bulls. If they come over 6s, we're going to come all the way back up to 677s. All right, so I'm going to watch towards 600 to see if there's failures up there towards your opening range, towards previous day value area low. If we reclaim that, they're going to go back inside previous day's value, which would then be a sector, or not sector rotation, a rotation of range, and we could then come back all the way back up here again. I'm waiting to see if we fail pops up here towards 600s. Might need a few legs back up here. So yeah, 615, that kind of level is kind of key. See if they get stuck up there or not, and then we can make a decision. Here we go, here's the test. Previous day close, previous day high on SOXL as well. So everything lining up well. This is the level that I'm starting to perk my interest at. If we get inside all of this, then we're going to go back inside value. That would be very dangerous. It would be a look below value and failure, and it would be a sweep of previous day low on the ES and a return back in. All right, perking my interest up here. Buyers just got caught for the first time. Just in front of 6s like we talked about. Not in this yet. Waiting to see if it can give me some form of entry, which is nice. Still holding the dips, so I'm going to leave this alone for a second. They look like they want to come fill this seller 888 lot at 10s. Let's see if he's legit or not, if he runs away. Now, if they hold now inside of value, we have to start thinking about not taking shorts because it will be a return to range. That seller just ran away, did he? Yes. Here comes the squeeze. All right, leaving this alone for a minute. This can come a bit higher here into this low volume node up here. Might want to come all the way back in. It will, well, unless we do another V shape, it will sell back down and create a higher low at some point. You can see this value area, very sensitive, very key now. So we're right at previous day value. This is the area I just said, teens and 600. I will consider the sell here if I start to see more buyers get stuck. At the moment, dips are still being soaked. But it's sensitive. It is an area of interest. If they hold this and we go back inside value, they're going to come right back up here. So if they hold this blue line, they're going to try and get back up to here, which is why I'm waiting at the moment to see. I'd love to sell this right now, but it's not ready. It is not ready. Uh, 7 minutes as well. 7 minutes till news, I mean. Not just a random 7 minutes. 7 minutes till the news comes out. All right, waiting to see if we fail back under 6 or if they keep absorbing here. It's back under 6. All right, I want pops to fail now if I'm going to play this. I need to be careful, though, because we have had the low-hanging fruit. And they did create a micro shelf here at 82s. Whoa, do I want to do this? Am I going to look for a continuation here? Feels dangerous, but yes, I am. Please pop. Don't go Don't go straight sell. Do not even think about going straight sell here. All right, that's the 80s. Pop up a little bit more and then sell it for me. No, pop up first and then sell it for me. Good. Bit more. Bit more. Let me see how you react here. All right, I put a little piece on here. I'm not confident in this because of how that buyer came in, but let's see. If they hold 82s, I'll be out. If they reclaim value, I'll be out. But I'm small size risk on sell side here. They are churning this around. I need to close underneath the 80s. Here we go. Come on, get back under the 80s. Back under the 80s. Come on. And then wash down towards the lows, please. Here's the shelf break. Get under it. Thank you very much. Yes. Yes. Now stay heavy and give me 40s. And then I'll see if I can hold beyond that. No reclaims here. No reclaims here. Not interested in closes above 85s. Do not want to see this here. Out. Out. I'll have another go if I need. Not giving back. We should have stayed heavy there once we got under 80s. It could easily be the Alex trade setup, but I'm not going to get squeezed out here if they're going to hold this block. So I was watching, like you would have heard me say, pop up please and fail. There's the pop up and fail. Once we came under this, there's no reason to come back up there. I wanted this. We came back up there, say no. No, 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 no. I'm not going to sit and wait. Remember, we've had the low hanging fruit. I still think there's a chance to move down to here today, which is what I want to position for, but it might be that it needs a second leg before it does it. If I need to get back in, I will. But I'm being risk adverse because we're holding this pretty well. So nice rejection of previous day close, previous day high there on the semis, though. I will say that. Maybe I was right and he just took my stop. Maybe it is the Alex trade. We'll see. We'll see. Oh, they're going to do it now. All right, let's see if there's a way of getting back involved if they're going to move under this shelf. Here we go. All right, I've put a tiny piece back on here for this because we're under that shelf now. Come on, break away, please. Break away from me, please. Back down to 47s, please. And then stay heavy. Get out my way, buyer at 50s. Go away. This shelf here has to stay heavy, this spike out here. We need to stay heavy under that. Nice, better. Thank you. So second attempt at this trade here. Let's see if we can wash under 47s and then go low of day. Come on. Ever so patient here today. You're testing my patience. You are testing my patience here. I'm not going to let this come over 77s. Nice. Okay, let's stay heavy under value area low now and extend to low of day. So TP a little bit in here, and then I'm trying to see if we can get to low of day now and then crack low of day. Big buyer trying to market buy this for some bizarre reason. Maybe it's just a big cover. Maybe they're covering where I'm covering at those 47s. So I've got a piece left. I'm going to risk 80 on the nose. Paid myself into that value area low. It looks different, the value area low on your screen, but on mine, on Delta, that's where it is. So I'm watching that right there. Always learning for you. Thank you very much. Oh, sorry, guys. I can see a lot of you have put messages in. I'm sorry. I've been very busy this morning. Piggy, that's very kind of you. Thank you very much, Piggy. I'm guessing a lot of you having very good mornings this morning. All right, be careful here. If they go back above 80, I'm out. There's my stop taken. I'm out of this now. They can do a second leg higher now because this can now be a higher low. This is why I was trying to trade into value area low. So I was looking for this short into here, holding runners. They've reclaimed. If they want to do a second leg up into this low volume node now and up here, they can, which is I'm now flat on this. And I'll just sit out, let it build out its liquidity, and we will look for the next trade setup. Passed your first eval halfway through Lucid. Nice work. Nice work. Nice work. Just having like a little scan around. what's going on right now. Semis still can't get over. If you're watching SOXL, they cannot get through PDH and PDC, which is a sign of weakness here. They've poked above and sold into. We're there or thereabouts. It's just about, is this liquidity going to be used for that flush back down to the 40s, or are they going to reclaim? You can see we're getting very wiggly on the tape here. Here comes the news as well, folks. So you're into your news driver here as well. Be aware of that. Book's thinned out. No one on the book right now. No one at home. Book has thinned out. They're trying to get up into here by the looks of it. They've got to get back inside value if they're going to do that. I'm not going to play longs. It doesn't feel like today's the day for longs. Not right now. Maybe that shifts. But right now, not for me. We're just inside current week range. And we can come back up and test this grey box above this low volume node, which is a high volume node on the current week. So this is a low volume node in current day, but it's a high volume node on the current week. It's where they're trying to get back up to. It's current week's point of control is up here. Positive news? I mean, maybe, but I don't care. News is just a catalyst for what the market does. You know, we've been at war with Iran for 8 weeks, maybe longer, 3 months. It's not positive. Market's moved up. I don't know. Just use it as a catalyst. I wouldn't be betting on news. ES flying? I mean, not really. It's at its VWAP. I wouldn't call that flying. Personally, I don't know what you consider flying, but for me, flying would be breaking out. That it's pulling back to VWAP after sweeping previous day low. I'm not sure that's flying. Not for me anyway. All right, SOXL back inside previous day high, previous day close. We are now back inside value from yesterday. So if they want to come up here into these areas here, they will. And then make a decision. Remember, yesterday's chop zone was here to here. We've traded from here to here and extended. If we're going to get follow through, it needs to come under this. Otherwise, we chop this, which will not be fun to trade. We'll be trying to avoid that. I will be trying to avoid that. You guys might want to trade that. I will be doing my best to avoid that inside that range. ES and NQ diversion. Not really. They're pretty much aligned. One swept belows, one hasn't. But in terms of structure and how they look, they're pretty much well aligned. Both made lows, both now climbing up on a second leg. So leg one, leg two, back inside yesterday's value now. Into this grey box like we talked about. Now, if they don't fail here, they're going to shove it right back up to previous day value area high. Where was my stop on my first entry? My first entry was the breakdown under 750. And it would have been just above. It would have been above this grey box. And why? Because that's where liquidity is. That's why we expected failures to happen today. So we popped over it, trapped bulls, failed under it, and then I added in this for this move. So buyers getting a little bit caught here. They're trying to get up to 650 at the moment. Point of control from yesterday is 664s. Shelf from this morning is 683s. They're trying to get up there. ES now starting to find a little bit of struggle at New York VWAP. SOXL looks really good right now, driving back inside its range. So it's now back above previous day highs. It might try and get back to 75s here and then make a decision up there, I would imagine. Some sellers trying to pair off here. If they can't fill these buyers up at 650 exits, they're going to get upset. So there's probably a sell coming soon if they can't get up to previous day point of control. Because we've finished the second leg now. So it just depends if they need to get to 650 or not, or if this now gets sold into back underneath value. And we're about to make a decision here, I think. They're trying to get up to these 650, 660 point of controls up here at the moment. And a big seller coming in, holding price down here. You're back inside your opening range as well, your orb. You're back inside that as well. This is the grey box which matters. This is the big volume level from the current week. Remember, I keep saying to you guys, zoom out. There's your current week. There's your point of control. We've just come back into it on the H1. It's a big, it's a big level. I expect buyers to possibly get absorbed up here by sellers if they are actually looking to expand range. But it's fair value. Where we're at right now is fair value for the current week. It's the most traded level for the current week, where we've just hit that high into 40s. Back to this opening range low. If we let go of previous day value area low, I will maybe consider the expansion model. If we keep holding it, I'm just going to have to sit out because we're in a chop zone now. Higher low not important. Well, you're zoomed in into the M1, my friend. Higher low important in the M1. 2-leg pullback into this. Zoom out on any other time frame right now. What's your H1 saying? The H1 is saying a pullback which can be sold into. What is God mode for me? Is the H1, right? H1's God mode is what I look at. It's not to say this doesn't go higher, but I am expecting us to get stuck in this grey box. If we get over this grey box, then I'm expecting price to come right up to 707s. But this is a 2-leg pullback, all right? And if we're talking about an H1, we're here, they can sell this. If they reclaim this, they're going to move higher. But they can sell this, which is why I'm focused more in sell side right now. Here we go. So here's the move back down to value area low. This becomes important. What happens at this blue line is important for sentiment right now. If they hold it, then they're going to try and rotate value all the way back up to 62s and then 706s. If we come under that blue line, it will perk my interest for the sell. Immediate reaction, yeah, immediate reaction as well. Yeah, they are trying to bid, so they're trying to rotate. Remember, this is the area I don't really want to trade in. All right, I'm happy to look for weakness under here. Some of you guys are range traders. You'll want to trade this area. You will want to trade that to there and that down. I'm not a range trader. I'm good at follow through. I'm good at follow through. Right? So I'm trying to avoid this. That's me personally. That's me sticking to my rules personally. What's H1? It's an hourly chart. Right, so if we think about on the hourly chart, sell, crack, pull back, we can sell off more. All right, so in this, think about what happens. If this is the hourly chart, what's the lower time frame chart going to look like? Right, that's inside this. So all of you guys looking for the higher lows and stuff, lower time frame, here we go. You have to understand what's going on. The hourly, I talk about it all the time. All right, back to this same level. It's an important level here. They're still trying to bid it at the moment. And we now have a little bit of buying caught above 620, I would say. Where were they caught? 627s. Yes, can't get through its VWAP either. This is going to be important level on chips as well, because as we come into this, this is also previous day high, previous day close on chips. Still interested in the sell if we move under here and stay violently, aggressively sell side. Not if we keep bidding on and around this. The moment I'm seeing absorption at 600, I'm not seeing willing sellers until 22. So I'm going to wait to see if we retest 22s, which is where those buyers got stuck. If we reclaim like this, then we're going to keep moving higher. If we come back under the 600 now, it would mean a rejection of those buyers and maybe follow through downside. So I'm not selling this, or sell it if we reject and move under 600. I will consider it. Right now, semi's showing me strength, so no reason to try and force. Remember, we hit targets. We had a beautiful trade on the way down already. Thank you for genuinely giving me great help. You've changed my life the past week. That's great. Love you too, baby. Thank you. All right. So into VWAP, into this high volume load from the current week. And buyers will try and find acceptance above this to get you up to 680, 700. Sellers will want to find acceptance under 600. That's the battle. That is the battle right now. I'm hands off because I'm trying to stick to my rules, which is not to trade in here. Remember, you guys don't have to do the same. If you want to bid this on value and try and get the return to point of control and value area high, it's a viable setup. It's not what I want to do. I'm trying to avoid this. Did my wife like the watch? Yes, she did. She burst out into tears. She did like it. I need to take it in. We've got to get a couple links removed for her. All right, a little bit more buying caught there at 650s. Semis look pretty strong here on that drive back in. 75 is going to be key. I think that is that a pre-market low? Yeah, pre-market low. 275 on semis probably going to be key here. Market's taking a bit of a breather inside range. There they go. They're trying to clear out this liquidity higher. So for you guys who are bullish, you need to try and get up here to 80s. This is the low volume node. This can act as resistance. But ideally for you guys who are bidding this, if you're bidding range, TP1, TP2, TP3 runners. Right? Don't expect more than this today. If it gives you more than that, that's great. Don't expect it. You know, your probable move is this, right? It's these levels from here to here, from here maybe to here, from here to here. Above this is acceptance higher. We're not seeing acceptance under previous day value area low right now. So we have to sort of ignore the short thesis unless we come under this. Happy anniversary. Thanks, man. Yeah, it was yesterday. Some imbalances up here. So this is previous day point of control for me on NinjaTrader. Here or hereabouts. And then you can come and revisit. Remember, we sold very, very aggressively out of the 80s and 700s this morning. So I would say if you're long, these are your targets here and here. Anything above that is a bonus. Don't expect it. It is a bonus if you get above that. Do not expect it. So right into my NinjaTrader previous day point of control for you. I've got it a little bit higher on trading view at 77. So into your TP territory here for you guys who are long on rotation. There you go. There's your TP. And above this, it's value area high, 700s, so 708s. If you can get up there, that's your next TP. And then your runners only. So I would have paid myself probably 50% here, another 20% at 708s if I was trading range like you guys. And then I'd be runners over that, 10, 20% runners over that. She did remember. Yes, she did remember. We both thought each other had forgotten, which was hilarious. SOXL very strong now. So it's coming for 280s. That was our over-under to start the morning where we flushed from. So decision point. If it gets over that, you're going to probably see a bit of a screamer in this market. You might get a full recovery. Just watching this tape here. There's orders at 80 and above, and there's a buyer at 60, and then there's nothing really under him right now. They look like they're trying to fill high. They're trying to get up to 90s and the 700 maybe. And you guys might be all right. You might get your full rotation, which would be pretty cool. Here comes the 280 drive on the semis. It's holding up very well here for you guys. Yeah, 675 and then 708. That's your levels. So TP some here and then see if you get 708. If you find acceptance above that, then it's probably boom time for you guys. Surprised they haven't like really shoved it. Here they come. They're trying now. I was going to say there's not much on the tape. Kind of surprised they haven't cleared all the way out to 700s here. It's fairly obvious levels. They're just going slow grind. I'm surprised they haven't accelerated it because semis are accelerating. 280s here on semis now. They are accelerating. All right, here's your next TP coming up into this blue line above you and PDC. And if you get above that, then hold runners because today's highs can't be ruled out. But you should be TPing a ton out here. And I mean like most of your profits need to come out in this drive here. And anything above this would be acceptance, above value. And then you could think about new high of day and stuff like that. But like, don't bank on it, which is what I'm trying to say. Like, don't think it has to do it. It doesn't have to do anything. Right? This is the return to value. Remember, here to here. This is the value rotation. They can get stuck here and they can come right back down in. So make sure you've paid yourself. If you got long on this, pay yourself in this. If you find acceptance, great. I mean, that's fantastic for you guys because you've got a very cheap long at that point. But you can see we are washing around both sides here. It's getting kind of nasty on the tape all of a sudden. Everyone's starting to take some profit in, and we're not rejecting, but we've come up to that 280 on the SOXL that we were expecting. If they get back above this, you'd expect new highs on that. If they fail this, you'd expect right back down into 275s. Thank you.
They know I didn't forget about it.
Yeah, they know. Okay, so a bit of a rejection here, back down towards the VWAP and current day's VPOC. Like I said, you should have locked a chunk in if you were long. Why is long off this VWAP? Not a good idea. Well, what's your target? You're inside value, so we haven't moved outside of value. So if you want to be long here and try and scalp up to value area high, that's fine. But you're not above PDC and you're not above value. So this for me would be a target to be selling into. Yeah, it's a target to sell into for your longs off the value rotation. If you're buying here, you're buying premium prices based on yesterday to try and get higher in a market which can still sell from this point. That would be the risk. Zoom out the H1. Who's stuck above? Quite a lot of buyers, all the overnight range. So if they reject this, it wouldn't surprise me. Right? Think about this. All the buyers in here. Right? There's the break. There's the trade back in. They can still sell this. But you guys have bought value to value, which makes sense. You've traded that. If you're trying to buy this to do this, you're asking a lot of the market for the current conditions. Doesn't mean it doesn't happen, but in terms of your risk reward and your positioning, you're asking a lot. Doesn't mean it can't happen. It's just asking a lot. Right, there's your TP. Right, so I'd say 20% left only now. 20% left only now. Do not be expecting this to have to make new highs again. 20% left only. If it goes, it goes. Fantastic. I'm chuffed for you guys who are long off value area low. If it bases over value area high, great. But if it doesn't go, you've paid yourself, right? Because if this is the H1 pullback and they start to dunk it again, at least you've paid yourself. Because it's a rotation, and we saw the rotation happen during the Globex session as well. You want a failed breakout? I mean, I wouldn't even call it a failed breakout. It's just a return back in. It's man, the semis look very strong. Just dancing on these 280s, that cool wall there. If they get through these, I would say new high of day on the semis, which, by the way, will be a new all-time high on the semis, and that is the leading indicator right now. So we have to be aware of it. You must be aware of it. All right, there's the drive back down. They absorbed it straight away underneath volume, underneath the VWAP. Sorry, Alex can't talk all of a sudden. So absorption taking place down there. God, look how choppy it's getting in this top side of this range. It's very risky. Big sellers coming here, still being absorbed at the moment. There's VWAP again. Here's previous day point of control again. Like, if they can't hold this, guys, you want to be done with it. You've made your money. If they can't hold these levels here, you want to be done with it. Do not get too greedy trying to trade inside yesterday's value, okay? Please. Said it many, many, many times. You've hit your targets already. If they are unwilling to hold up here, we can come right back down to 600 again. And no, I'm not joking. I'm deadly serious. If they can't hold up here, they can come right back down to 600 again. So do not get too greedy on the longs. Imagine we go back to all-time highs. It's very possible. If they hold a bid over previous day value area high, it's very possible. It's absolutely possible. Still getting stuck up here. We're trying to get you a clear out higher. SOXL pulled back off the 280 down to 275. It's trying to find a bid at 275. Let's give you a quick readout on the mag. Tesla finding some strength, 1.65% up. Nvidia 3% down. Microsoft 1.89% down. Meta 3.35% up. Google 0.25% down. Amazon 1.25% down. Apple flat. All right, so strength today coming from Meta and Tesla, which is good because Meta looked a little weak pre-market. And the weakness coming in Nvidia, Oracle selling off again. That rotation, which only occurred for a day or two into software. Hopefully we get a rebid in software in the next few days. IONQ still holding up around the 71 is really nice. IREN giving a little bit back, but still 0.75% up on that swing there. Let me just see. Look at this struggle, this backwards and forwards action up here. If they can't hold this, like I said, you can't rule out 600s. You cannot rule it out. So hopefully you guys have listened to me and locked some money in. If you're lucky, you get the breakout and you go back to highs. But at the moment, there is clearly a rotation taking place inside of value. Right, inside of value. Here to here, here to here's point of control. If they build this and hold it, if you get lucky, you get this. Otherwise, you're going to get this. Which is why if you were long, you want to have paid yourself. Good absorption, 275 SOXL. So they're going to come back for 280 again and have another go at it. And they're going to look for that breakout. Bids are still holding here. ES struggling. Weakness in ES. So it's semis driving this move on the Qs like we know. No change there. We know it's always semis. Look at this chop, man, up here. Still liquidity to clear out over 700s. I'm kind of surprised. If they've done all this work, why not go and take it? Got to sit this out and wait. Oh. Big sell again. There you go, all the way down again. Back to point of control again. Semis rejecting again. It's so tempting to try and play short for the rotation, but we all know Alex hates rotation. So I'll try and avoid it. Look at this chop, man. Again, all you've got to do is look at 275, 280. That's the chop on SOXL. That's what's happening right now. Bid's trying to hold up here, trying to get you back to high of day. We're just not moving. We're just stuck. Stuck inside a value. Semi soak 275 again there. So they're going to have another go at 280s. This would be, God, I don't know how many goes. 15 minutes of having a go up here at 280s on SOXL. They're looking for the higher day break. Well, the gamma break, which will get you up to higher day, I should say. Still it's chopping. Still they're struggling to get up there. Nvidia, the market leader, still selling. So it just depends. Are they going to hold Marvel up, TXM up, AMD up, or not? Back towards previous day point of control. Like I said, if you lose this, 640, 600 is very, very viable in this market if they start to lose the bid. There's lots of liquidity down here towards 650 to come and take if they do. It's just, these are the areas where you do well to leave alone. And previous day point of control soaked again, back up to current point of control, which is 84. 75 soaked again on SOXL. Yes, coming back above its VWAP or 2 VWAP. SPY trying to do the same. Currently stuck there, so it dunked under. It's reclaimed it now. You might see strength now that it's reclaimed. You might see it if it can reclaim and base above now on the broader market, if the broader market can find a bit of a bid. Again, ignoring all of this the best I can because we're in the range I don't want to trade in. $280 test coming up here. So Excel again. If they break that, I would imagine high of day on semis, and you get a breakout here on Qs. Choppity chop 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 choppity chop chop chop. We'll move away from this soon enough, folks. We won't be here forever. They've built a lot of liquidity here. We will not sit here forever. We will either break right up here probably or come right back down here soon. There's a lot of liquidity in here now. 280 slight rejection there, and they're still holding it up well. They can still come for it. And if semis do get over 280s, they're going to get, well, the big cool wall today. Oh, Jesus Christ, it's up at 340s. Really? That seems a bit far-fetched. Maybe I'm going to eat my words. That seems a little bit far-fetched today on semis, 340s. But that's the big cool wall. All right, there's the 280. Poke above. Can they base above now, go high of day and go 290s, 300s, which will lift this market if they do. ES still stuck at VWAP, rejecting VWAP a little bit. It's amazing, isn't it, that one sector, just bring this up, is holding this market up so well. It's literally this. That's it. And the leader, the biggest one, Nvidia, is down 3%. It's amazing. Like INTC up 6.13%. QCOM 4.63%. They're the ones holding the market up here very, very well. And you look at like software down, hardware down, tech application down, communication down, information down. Interesting that ES is struggling so much when healthcare and defensive and energies all found a bid. Right, there's the 700s. You're through the 280s now. It should try and go high of day now on SOXL. You should see a drive out to high of day, which should get NQ going. ES back above VWAP. They've done this dance for so long. So you should see this move up towards 750s now. They should be able to come up towards this. Now that they've faffed around so much. For how long? 16, about 15 minutes we spent up here. A long time. a long time. As long as they base above 280s now on SOXL, you should see a continuation. If they can't do that, it could be a fell break, but we'll see. You're back above previous day value high. You cannot think about any sells now. No sells whatsoever, no return to range unless you come underneath that. If you're a range seller, so if you're a range buyer on the way up, a range seller, you're going to need it to let go of all of this, right? And here's the retest of it. So if it doesn't let go of all this, we're going to bid up now, right? Because we've done the hard work. No, it just held it. Look at that dip, just held it. So at the moment it's saying, hey, we want to move higher. We've failed underneath value area low. We've churned back to value area high. And if we find acceptance over, we can just call it 700, over 700, then they're going to look for higher prices. So if you're a range seller, if you're a range bid on the way up and you're waiting for the sell, you're going to have to see it move under it. And I will say we built out a huge amount of liquidity down towards 70. So really, you're going to have to wait for a fail underneath 70s, which is basically right next to previous day point of control, which means they've made it very hard for you to think about a range trade lower today at the moment, in my mind anyway, with how they've built the structure. So SOXL, if it holds the 80s here on the pullback, be the RBS hold, and then it should break high of day. If it can't hold 80s, that might signal a problem, but that's what I'm waiting for at the moment. Do we hold the pullback to 80s? Are they going to go expansion, or is it going to be a fail break and a rotation? If it's going to be a rotation, I don't know how I can trade this with how they built structure, but we'll see if there's a way. So back towards previous day value area high here. Lots of bids on the tape down towards 90s right now. Good absorption on previous day value area high there again, blue line. Please don't go sideways for 15 minutes again. Please don't do that. It's the one thing I don't want you to do is just go sideways. Let's move away one way or another. Some sellers starting to come in here trying to walk down. Very choppy. And this is so choppy. I'm going to zoom out of Bookmap a bit. Oh, this looks awful. So absorption is happening underneath 12s. Sellers getting absorbed. And they're not willing to passively sell at the moment. They walked down for a minute and then they've left and they've moved back up to 25s again. We're not finding acceptance back inside value. So buyers are doing a good job of holding, expanding value or trying to expand value higher at the moment. ES now holding above VWAP as well. SPY right above it. It's very tight here. There's no aggression from sellers right now, I'll tell you that much. They walked down for a minute and then they left. So we're not seeing aggression. We haven't quite tested the 280s yet on SOXL. We're coming back down towards it to see if they can find a bid. At the moment, they've just bid 81s and they've bid straight back up off 81s. That's an aggressive bid. That just moved quick. So it looks like they want a new high of day on SOXL to me, folks, which means this is probably going to bid up here if they do. Here it goes. This 5-minute bar looks very good on the semis at the moment. Make your mind up, Mr. Market. Make your mind up, please. Okay, back underneath, back inside value again. So again, like I don't think there's a case to sell this until we move under 80s and 80s and 70s, and even then it's so close to this. Is what I'm saying. Like normally you'll be trying to sell that down, but because of how we've built this structure out, there's a good chance of this. So I think if you're going to play the rotation, you've almost got to let it leave all of these players. Otherwise, I think there's a very good chance you will get caught. Sevens again. Still buyers down at 90s that we haven't filled. Still coming for this 280 back test on semis. That's what they're still trying to do. It's 280 back test. Mate, this is so messy on the book. Very slow. Okay, 5-minute bar now finished on SOXL. So it's done that 5-minute pullback. Can do that 5-minute flag if it really wants. Still not tested the 80s though. Here comes the test of the 80s. This is going to be key now. Do they hold these 80s as an RBS zone and go for new highs? And if they don't, and we stay heavy under 80, maybe then there's a sell in this market for the rotation. I don't think I'm going to play it because I hate rotation unless it becomes very clean and obvious. All right, there's the failure under 280s on SOXL. If they can't hold the bid there, they're going to get in trouble. So I'd say in this market now, if we move underneath this, this rotation becomes possible again. All right, if this is a failed break. Normally you'd want to be short here, but because of how we've built this out, I think it's very risky. You're almost better off looking for that if you're going to look for it. I'm not saying, like, I will not be looking for it. I want to make that really clear. This is everything I hate. Unless it becomes, you know, unless we see a very strong sell candle here and I see buyers leave the tape, then maybe I'll consider it. There's always someone talking, folks. There's always someone talking. All right, here we come. Back down towards previous day point of control. All right, under here, I think you might see weakness. So this is the level right now. Under here, this becomes viable. If they leave these buyers trapped, under here, this becomes viable. This can still be the H1 pullback, remember? That goes into a sell. That's why you need to be careful here. That's why I said make sure you lock your longs in up here. I said to you 10 to 20% only left above this for that reason. For that exact reason. Good reaction of previous day point of control so far. Big seller here. He's thinned out his orders all of a sudden at 700. There was a seller there and he just thinned out. And the chop up here continues. Semi's caught a bid there. Straight back above the 280s. That happened in a matter of seconds. 277 to 280 60s in a matter of seconds. Braver than me if you're trading this right now. That's for sure. It's bonkers. Market spoofing by the seller. Well, yeah, inherently, if he left the tape, then he's spoofing. Again, it doesn't really matter what he's doing. The fact is he left the tape. Iran has not agreed to getting nuclear material out, but there is building pressure. I mean, does anyone else like just want to get on the news and tell these fucking idiots to just shut up? Just tell us when it's done, right? Just tell us when it's done, because I'm bored of it now. Like, I'm so bored of it. No wonder we're chopping here, because the news algos don't know what to do with this. We've done a deal, we've not done a deal. They're going to do what we want, they're not going to do what we want. So boring. It is so boring at this point. I'm so over this this year of having to care about this rhetoric. It sounds selfish of me, but I just mean, I don't mean from a humanity point of view. I mean, just from a trading point of view, it's just frustrating. It's like saying we've got earnings coming, only joking, we're not doing earnings. Earnings are really good, only joking, they're not that good. We're going to tell you when earnings are coming out, they're not actually coming out. It's just like, come on, man. Just enough. Just shut your gob, go away. Do a press statement when you've got something worth saying. I'm well aware it's the game. I'm not a complete noob sitting here saying it. I'm well aware it's the game. I'm saying I'm bored of the game. Can we change the game? I'm bored of it. So bored of it. All right, SOXL still, it came deeper than it needed to and reclaimed. Right, we haven't looked at this today, so it's reclaimed. This level here. All right, so it flushed back into this block. Think about this. Flushed back in, reclaimed here. It's looking to do this. This is all-time high. I don't know why, but the options level has priced in this. This seems a little bit far-fetched to me. I might laugh end of day and we'll be up there. That seems like a ridiculous, ridiculous move, you know, but that's what they're looking for. Right, they want a 20% move on the day, do they, from the open price? I mean, that's what they've priced in. That's all I'm saying. They've priced it in. They think it's possible. If they think it's possible, we can't rule it out. That seems huge to me. That would be, what would the Qs have to do if we do that? Let's just have a quick look at the T-triple Qs. Where's the open price? We're not even at the open price. See, these are also triple leveraged. Well, that'd be 2% move on the Qs, all right? They're asking for a 20% move, so I guess they're weighing in that it's 10% of that. Crazy. Crazy market. It's crazy. Crazy, crazy. It's crazy. Got stopped out at 940. You got stopped out here. I don't know what I don't know what to say. I don't know where your entry is. You got stopped out at 940. This candle here on the short. I don't know where your entry is. So if your entry's here, why is your stop here? Why have you moved down? We expect this, don't we? Retest of this area. So remember, all the time we're failing 50. My calls to you this morning were 50 and 60. I'm going to look for a pop to fail there. We came over it. I sold the breakdown back through. We never reclaimed it. That was the area. It's the grey box. It's why it was there. There's a reason it's there. All right? There's a reason it's there. If you've moved your stop to, I don't know, if you entered short here and you stopped out there, you didn't, there's no reason. We didn't reclaim anything. All right? We didn't reclaim this level. We didn't reclaim VWAP. We didn't reclaim flow zones. We didn't break structure. There's no reason. Your stop needs to be above like a liquidity pool or join on the downside pressure, or like even if you had to join the break. I ended up joining the break because I couldn't get a repop here. Stops up there. Right? You just got to size accordingly for it. All right, SOXL still looks like it wants more. It's going to try and get to high of day and break by the looks of it. Semis just want to go bonkers by the looks of it. We are in a place now where all sells today are now caught offside. Every big lot now from this session, I would say, is offside. So the only people left offside in this market are buyers at 780s and above. Everyone else, sellers are all offside, buyers are all comfortable. The only buyers that are caught now are these buyers from here this morning. That's it. No one else is uncomfortable. Everyone else is very comfortable. As we start pushing higher and higher. I don't really want to bid on this market. I'm going to be honest. I smell a bit of a rat. Maybe I should be bidding value area high. It feels like a rat to me. I smell a rat in this market. I don't know what to say. It's not like a technical thing. I've just been here enough times where I just smell a rat. I don't really want to bid on value area high today. I'm going to avoid that expansion model higher. You don't have to do what I'm doing. Something feels amiss to me today. Something doesn't feel quite right trying to bid here to get higher. It doesn't mean it doesn't do it, but I would rather be risk adverse and sit flat. Something just feels off to me. Okay, back to that previous day value area high again. They need to hold this level if you're going to see expansion. I'm going to laugh if this dunks under 670s and dunks all the way back down after I've just said, I smell a rat. Something just feels way, way offside to me right now. I can't put my finger on it, but I'm just looking at the charts. I'm just like, no bid coming through ES. SOXL should have taken highs. It's done enough dance here for 20 minutes. It's dancing at 680. They can't find a bid. I know that they're rotating through the semiconductor names right now. Just see one of you saying Nvidia's caught a bid, the market will lift now. No, because if they've caught a bid on Nvidia, but they've sold all the other semis to find that bid, like I said, they've gone from rotating sectors, right, to rotating within a sector, right? They buy Marvell, they sell AMD. They buy AMD, they sell INTC. They buy INTC, they sell Nvidia. They buy Nvidia, they sell TXN, etc., etc., etc. They're rotating within that. It's like a fucking whirlwind going off. What happens when they go, yeah, fuck this, we've hit our targets, we're out for a bit? That's my worry. And it feels like they're close to it to me. So I would rather miss an upside trade than do something I don't feel comfortable with. I'm with you on that, Alex. I said that last night. What's that? That something feels amiss. Yeah. Doesn't mean I'm going to short. It just means I'm going to avoid the bid for expansion at previous day value area high. Also, if I'm bidding this previous day value area high, right, it means I'm buying this with these participants stuck. I'm buying to look for this. I don't love that. I don't love that. I would rather buy that than the first test back up into it. If we think about that from a structural point of view, all right, what we're seeing, if I drew that whole thing out, what we've seen overnight, right, I'm trying to buy that to get back up there. No, I don't like it. See what I mean? I don't feel good about buying that. Doesn't mean it can't do it. I don't feel good about buying that right now. Can we get rid of the yellow? There we go. All right, SOXL having another go for the break. Yes, still showing weakness. Crazy, man. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Divergence everywhere. Everywhere I look. It's so crazy. How do I rate the probability of fading previous week's value? Well, we're nowhere near. How can we even talk that? Why are we even talking about that? We are nowhere near previous week's value. We're not even close, my friend. We will need to get all the way under 30,280. We're nowhere near. We'll talk about it as and when we get there, right? It's a big level. That previous week value area high is a massive level. We are nowhere near it, my buddy. So that's like saying, I don't know what it's like saying, but let's play what's in front of us. At the moment, I smell a rat, so I don't want to be long. I smell a rat. There's a rat in the kitchen. What am I gonna do? All right, back to VWAP here. Like I said, I don't feel good about longing this up here. Just structurally, it doesn't make sense to me. I get the value long, but it doesn't make sense to me right now. I'm very, very risk adverse to this. I think in my mind, there's a very good chance we're coming back to 600 today. I don't know why, but looking at ES, it looks like it's already trying to do it. If the semis cannot break out, they've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 minutes the semis have tried to break out and haven't. For 25 minutes they've tried and they haven't. They are still holding the 80s, but the more buyers that keep trying to lift that thing higher at all-time highs and failing to break out will be failed follow-through. We all know what happens if buyers get caught at highs. We start to let go. So maybe I'll consider the short if we start to stay heavy under 70s and 80s here. Not beforehand. We're just back into this. Remember, this is why I'm saying it's very risky right now. This is a strong build out. Under here, I'd argue that this happens, all right? I don't want to be long over this. I know it's a technical play. I can't, based on structure, I can't do it. Based on structure as well, I can't really short this to here because of this build out. But if we leave this and we leave these buyers caught, I can think about this move down here, which might be about to set up. So maybe I'm going to need to shut my mouth and watch this market. Shut your gob, Alex, and focus. All right, let's see if pops start to fail versus sort of 80s here. If they just dump it, there's fucking nothing I can do here. Please don't. All right, I'm waiting to see if we do this. In the range, you know, we all know Alex hates this shit. He flipping hates it, but we'll see if it becomes very obvious. If this squeeze up is met with passive sellers absorbing, I want to be so careful on SOXL, man. All right, here's 70s. I'm waiting to see if we can test a little bit higher, and if these guys are sold into, they are starting to sell into them. I want one more lift, ideally. You can get up into 80s and then see if these guys absorb this tape. No, you can't even get that high. All right, I put a tiny piece on there. I'm really uncomfortable with this. This is every trade I hate. I'm going to fucking stop out here, aren't I? You're going to trap me straight away. Yep. Out. This is why I don't trade range. This is exactly why I don't trade range. Just giving a couple hundred back for no fucking reason. Because I hate range. And because semis can't catch a bid there. Watch this. Semi's going to break now. They just trapped everyone. Oh, including me. Oh, God. Why do this for a job? I don't know. What a stupid job to do. What a stupid job to do. Range is the worst. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. No defense of this like we wanted. And this can now go upside again if it wants. Semi's still. What the fuck is this thing doing? Ugh. 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 That is awful. Ugh. Dumped, reclaimed instantly. It's twice now. I have to pay attention to that. 2 reclaims at 280s now. Can't get over New York Open. Can't get over the high. Can't see continuation under. Stopped Alex out on that reclaim. Thought he was ready to go. Was I a bar too early? I might have been a bar too early. I'm not going to have another go at this. This is just proof. This is why I don't trade range. I'm not having another go at this. Nope. I refuse. I don't care if it comes all the way down. I don't trade range well, so don't try and do it, Alex, you idiot. You absolute fool. You fool. You know you don't do it well. Why bother? You got lured into it. What a stupid, stupid idea that was. Semi's still chopping these 280s. My life. Yes, a really nice trade that. Came down into the level we would want to get an exit on Qs, really. Someone's going to get really hurt soon. One side of this tape is going to get absolutely walloped soon. Tesla and Meta now the only ones green. It's amazing, isn't it? That these secondary names can hold a market up so well. It is actually amazing. Do you know what amazes me more? Is the double gap on Marvel based on someone saying this can be the next $1 trillion company. Like, if that doesn't identify froth, I don't know what does. And I'm not a bear against the AI trade at all, but 30% gap followed by 8% gap or whatever it was, because Jensen says, yeah, this can be $1 trillion company. Fuck me. It added like 300 billion or something ridiculous to the valuation because of someone's comments. It's wild. The how should I put it? The bullishness of participants in the chip names is absolutely wild. Look at this chop, man. Starting to break down a little bit here. Semi's still at 280, still not getting that breakout above. They've been here a long time. Oh man, if this flushes, I'm just gonna call it a day, I think. What's on the book here? 70s, 60s, who's down below? 50s, 40s. Yeah, they're all there. I might have been a few candles too early. I'm not trading it again, like I said. I'm going to stick to my rules. I don't trade range well. I was a few candles too early. It burnt me because of that. If this flushes now, it just means that I can read it well and can't trade it well, which is everything I already know. I already know that about myself. I can read range well. I do not execute range well. Here's going to be proof of it. If this flushes to 600, this is proof that I can read it well and can't trade it well. Downside Alex, yeah, it can be, guys. It can be. I mean, just watch the semis though. Like it's a one horse race right now. Are those willing to come back down to 275? If so, you probably get a little flush here, down into this grey box, and if you get lucky down here, that would be my target. If they let go of VWAP. This is where they're trapping this low volume node, which is a current week high volume node. Interestingly, this is where they're trapping, but I would look for an exit if you were short, like here. Look for an exit into this and then into this. If they hold it, they hold it. Like, I'm not, like I said, I'm not taking it. I gave a little bit of money back on that. I've got a feeling it's going to happen. I've got a feeling this is going to be the market's way of teaching me another lesson today of saying, hey, you don't trade that well, so why did you do it? Here's proof. here's the proof, you idiot. You know not to do it, but you still did it. Just shows, it doesn't matter how good you are. Sometimes you want more money, and this is what happens. Oh, God, here it comes. Here it comes, folks. Teaching Alex a lesson. Motherfucker. Teaching Alex a lesson. Teaching Alex a lesson. You never stop learning, guys. This is proof. This is, I'd cover some now if you did take this. If you're a range trader, you're better than me. Cover some now and then look for 600s. What can I say? And there's the move to 275 SOXL. It's funny, isn't it? You have a fat green day, but you give like a bit of money back and you get upset. It's like, it's not bad. It's not a bad day, but I hate giving money back when I kind of broke my own rules there. If I'm honest, how many times today did I say, I'm not going to trade this? Oh, and I did. I saw the volume stuck. I felt like this was possible. I traded it for the downside move. I got stopped out, and then it comes. Oh, Alex, you fucking idiot. Fat green day. I mean, it's not fat, but 1, 2, 3, 4 and a bit. 4 and a bit thousand. And it's average green day. Average green day, because we're not in expansion mode. It was a good solid sell earlier. Unfortunately, I did, for some reason, 1, 2, 3, 4 of the accounts were not on copier. I don't know why. If there was an error, because they're certainly all on copier, but for some reason they didn't fill. All right, so let's see now. You're into the grey box, so cover some here and then look for 600s basically. And I will say to you, if we come back underneath low of day, or back underneath previous day value area low, if we come under these 600s, right? So this is your rotation, right? This was the failure that we took, right? There's the rotation high probability area. There's current week value area low. They reclaim, there's value area low, there's the rotation, previous day value area high, there's a 3 drive, 1, 2, 3, fail, previous day value area high, back into a rotation. Point of control's here. If they let go point of control, they'll come here. This will complete the rotation back to 6s. This is the block, all right? Underneath here, if they stay heavy under here, there is a chance to come into this and this. Under this, will either be a giant weekly trap or we will see the market potentially get into a pro trend sell right under this. We'll see when we get there. It's a pain in the butt right now. You broke your own rules because you're on the screen longer than you need to be for us. Thank you. Yeah, well, that is probably a factor sometimes. Chuck, in my humble opinion, you took too long to convince yourself to pull the trigger. No, I didn't. I trade the breakdown of a key level. It's not about playing too long. Look at what you said. Look at what you said. Look at the difference. In my humble opinion, you took too long to convince yourself to pull the trigger. By the time I went with my gut with 3 minis, I made 175. Sorry, you went with your gut, so not a technical level. And you even said a bit of a gamble, but it paid off. So you took a gamble with your gut with 3 minis and you only made 175. I would rather play a technical setup and lose than play with my gut with 3 minis and make 175 bucks, bud. Because I tell you what, I'll be here longer than you will. And that's not me being an arse based on what you've said. What you've said tells me you are going to lose a shit ton of money by playing with your gut on a gamble with 3 minis for 175 bucks. No, mate. I'm just being honest. I don't care what you do. I'm trying to help you. That ain't a trade, mate. That is not a trade. I traded leaving these levels, all right? I traded leaving these levels. I traded a technical breakdown. 1, 2, 3, failure, leaving these levels. I get stopped out. So what? I don't care. It's a technical trade. You might have traded short here with your gut. Well, what happens if they hold value and they do that? How are your 3 minis looking then? Are you adding into your loser, for example? 3 minis, seriously, dude. That's some serious size for a tight range. Risking 1,500 for 175. Yeah, exactly. What's my opinion on deep charts? Guys, everyone always asks this. I don't trade with deep charts, so I can't give you an opinion. I'm sure they are fantastic. From what I've seen, there's guys in my trading room who use deep charts and love deep charts. I don't trade with deep charts. I trade with NinjaTrader with my indicator Spectra, which will be available for members in the next 5 days, I would say. We got it. Me and Mo got it done last night with NinjaTrader. So I've just got to get it on the website now and everything. But for members, we'll do a members only sale first because you guys always get the cheaper price first. And then probably in the next week or two, it'll be available for the public. But yeah, some of you would have seen, I cost Mo a really, poor Mo. Luckily it rebounded. But last night we were fixing some of the code, and I think we got on a video call together like here and we looked up and the market was here, and I think we finished the video call, and I think I'm right in saying you got long here, Mo, and got this right. You got the rotation of value yesterday, so you got the long back up, fortunately. So I didn't feel so bad once you messaged me saying don't worry, I got it. But yeah, so anyone in Discord, you got Mo's short. He didn't get it because I was harassing him to fix the code with me. Will it work in TradingView? No, it will not work in TradingView. It's for Ninja Trader. You scared Mo at the weekend with a problem that didn't exist. Well, I fucked up. So I was trying to change the code so we could put the vendor licensing in, but I did it on the wrong on the wrong code, on like an older one. Anyway, we got it fixed. That's all that matters. What is the order flow I have on TradingView? This, you mean? This is just footprint. You can use that if you want. You just come up here for that. Here, volume footprint. It's just a type of candle. You will need the premium or whatever it's called for TradingView to have that. On the other screen. No, this is Ninja Trader. This is not TradingView. This is Ninja Trader. Yes, we will do a video on Spectre. We've already done the PDF for it. We'll do. That's what I mean. I'm going to have to do all of that before we put it on release for the public. Can I get Ninja Trader in Canada? Yeah, anywhere in the world. Long from 674 to 754. What do you think? 674, 6. I think it's risky. I think anything in here right now is risky. This is your D shape in here. This is the chop. Look what's happening here. Chop, 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 chop. All right, I learnt my lesson there, right? I learnt my lesson trying to play. I was trying to play expansion outside of the chop. I got caught. Right, I don't want to trade in here. Right, I was trying to trade outside of this for that. Right. Any trade in here, if I was trading in there, if you were long here, I think is what you're saying, you want to pay yourself a bit here and a bit here. And then if you find acceptance over this, great. But don't expect it. The market's basically telling you this is fair value, right? This is fair value for the day. This is where all the liquidity has been built for the day. So if we think about what the market's told us today, this morning, the market's told us this is too expensive. We don't like prices up here. This is too cheap. We don't like prices down here. This is fair value. Buyers and sellers are agreeing that this is a good price. Why we're spending time here. Now, if something changes and this becomes too expensive, we're probably going to come back down to this again. If they decide it's too cheap, we can come up to this again. But at the moment, all we're going to do is rotate this. This is why we're here. Buyers and sellers agree that this is a good price. So range traders, you can buy that, sell that, buy that, sell that, buy that, sell that, buy that, sell that. At some point though, one of these things, 4 things is going to happen. We will not stay in here forever. Something will shift the market where we no longer deem that fair value. Spearhead, yeah, I agree, my friend. Majority, in my opinion, of successful trading is knowing when not to trade. This is balanced and not ideal. Yeah, I agree. That's exactly what we just talked about. That's why I was trying to trade us leaving balance, and I got caught. So at least you can see it's not 100%. Alex broke his rules. He got caught. He gave a bit of money off the top back today. Whereas this morning, the call was very easy. Under 750s, I think we see pressure. All right. I said it to you on stream. I also said it to the team somewhere. I'll see if I can find it. Can we find it? Here we go. I think 750 could be telling today. If the market keeps popping and failing up there, it becomes a key level. Globex, previous day high, overnight value area high, but still now holding previous day value area high around 700. So interested to see what they do at the open with those two levels. Think about what we did at the open. We pushed up from 750 up to the high. We came under 750. We failed. We rejected. We sold. Right, and now we're back up to 700. All right, chop zone. Again, the easy money was made here. That's the easy money. This is the hard money. Everything that happens after this is going to be hard now. Do I care about Fibonacci retracement or not? Yes, but more for Confluence than by itself, right? So like if we were looking higher time frame right now, okay, let's say you were looking for a dip buy this morning and you were doing the whole move, the whole measured move. All right, so we go from the swing lows to the swing high. All right, then you came into the 61. All right, so if you were a buyer this morning, that would be my first tick, but I wouldn't use it alone. So, and 50% right here. So we have high volume node, key areas to protect liquidity, and current week value area low. So that's a tick as an area I might want to buy if I was going to be a buyer. I would then move that into lower time frame and see what happens. I wouldn't just leave limits here because you don't know that's going to not knife you. All right. So I'd want to see what happens at these areas. So if we move then up, right, where's the confluence? Okay, 5-day moving averages here. That's another good confluence. Put walls here. That's another good confluence. More importantly, we trade back inside value area low. Again, I avoid the range, but for you guys, I'd say that's your long trigger. 61, back inside 50, 5-day, high volume node, reclaimed, upside. Great, makes sense. What I wouldn't do is just draw them on the chart, and if there's nothing else there, expect them to hold, right? They're areas of confluence. And then for the upside move, right? So if we were looking for an upside move today, we could like maybe do a projection, right? Because this is blue sky territory. Okay, so now we've got projections. Well, I don't think the market can move above 900 really today. So there's call wall 1. 900 is the top bowl. Measured move would be 965. So maybe, for example, today we could do a daily wick where we put a high and we close back inside this. Very possible. I don't think we will close outside of 900. It's possible, but the reason I say that, right, is this. It's very unlikely that we close outside of this or far outside of it. And you see it sometimes, but normally, right, we will close like at it. All right, this is a bearish close outside of it. But they're rare. They're rare. You can see they're rare. Right? So I don't think we have too much more room at the moment for upside for a close. We can wick it for a close. Bias is bullish overall. It's absolutely remains bullish overall in this market. Maybe I should have been more willing to play this range and make, like, if there's a weakness in my game, it's this. If there's a weakness in my game, it's buying that, knowing it's going to come here, and it's selling that, trying to get back down to here. That's the weakness in my game. I'm very aware of my weaknesses. So what happened this morning, for example, Alex got his 8-iron out, and then he hit a pitching wedge, right? And he came in 5 under par, right? And then Alex got, I don't know, a driver out on a par 5, and he hooked it left, all right? And he went bogey, right? Because he didn't stick to his 8-iron, right? And you make more money in the market sticking to what you're good at. You will lose money doing what you're not good at. I talk about this all the time. Today is like a perfect example of it, with me being the example, right? Me being the example. You start doing what you're not good at, you are liable to give money back. You will increase your profit factor by taking less trades and just doing what you're good at. The moment you start doing what you're not good at, you should expect to lose money. I did size down on that for that reason, because I knew it's a high probability I get it wrong. There you go, it happened. Yesterday was a perfect example. I can't even remember yesterday now. What were we doing yesterday? My brain is clouded. What did we do yesterday? What did the market even do yesterday? I can't even remember. Well, we bid up yesterday. Well, we just bid up. I can't remember. Did we buy this? I don't remember. I literally don't remember. Maybe we bid this up. Dead brain. I'd have to go back and watch the stream. Well, this is fun. Maybe while we do this, how long we got left? 45 minutes. We would like to do some giveaways. Can we get the likes up? I assume they're not high enough. Yeah, we're short. We need to get to 1,000 likes. 1,500 of you here not hit that like button. Also, I just put another competition out on my X. So if you go to @FlowZoneTrader, you'll see this month's competition is for a 150k Lucid account. You can enter on X. We did announce the winner of last month's winner. It was a big giveaway last month. It went to Mark, the VWAP. He won a free 34-inch widescreen monitor, a Lucid 150k Flex account, and the beginner to advanced course. Smaller giveaway this month. I will be doing a fat giveaway once we get to 50,000 followers, or subs, I should say, on YouTube. So another, I don't know, 7,500 subs to go. I don't know what we'll do, but we'll do the biggest giveaway yet. We'll do a massive giveaway for that as a thank you for you guys. Do I still journal my trades? I don't. I tell you what I do journal. If I take a shocker, I write it down in my diary. I don't journal because it would just be boring to journal my trades at this point. But I will anecdote a shocker. If I have a tilt day or something, I will put that down. Because I find even writing that down, I will handwrite it down. I won't do it online. I will handwrite it down and I'll say what I felt, why I felt it, what else is going on in my life. And that, it's like it sears it in the memory for me. I think I've shown you guys before. I've got like a, is it here? This is like an old trading journal from small caps. And there are some shockers in here. These are like my old trading journals, right back to 2021. There, we'll see if I can find a shocker. Here we go. Minus 14,000 BTX. Squeezed out, no limit. What you doing? Yeah, there you go. This is where I was trading some serious fucking size. I mean, that absolutely wrecked me that day. I don't remember what happened, but that was one of my big Chinese losers. 14 grand down a pan. And I think I remember I was up like 34 grand that month as well. Fucking gave half of it back. Not controlling my losses. Guess what I was doing? Guessing tops. He was guessing tops on small caps, adding into losers. He was doing the things he tells you not to do. Why do you think I tell you not to do it? Even that one there, look, 1,028. I don't know if you can read it. What does it say? Cut your losses. Come on, Alex. All right. These are like way back when. So sometimes it's fun to look through these, see how far I've come. So when I'm screaming at you guys, don't do it. You're going to get hurt. Don't do this. Trust me, I learnt the lessons the hard way, not with prop firm capital, with all my hard-earned money from music. Might as well have just got a fucking load of petrol and set it on fire. But I learnt the lessons. When do I move into the next futures contract? When we roll over and there is enough volume. When there's enough volume. Do I think a copper squeeze is coming? I should actually message my mate Duncan about that. Let's have a look. It's normally the market leader, you know, in copper. Looks good. Why is this so far out? Can we get a copper one? Can we not get a better contract than that? What's going on? Do I not? I might not have access to it. CFD. I get a better look at it there. Yeah, mate. Yeah, mate, that thing is going. Yeah, I think there's a good chance. It's not. Do you know, it's normally the market leader as well, copper. So if that thing goes, you'd have to think tech's probably got new highs coming. Let's have a quick look at some of these. Still holding that key level on GC for now on the weekly. Silver, like I said, I don't think it ever gets back up here. I mean, I might eat my words. They are used a lot for a lot of the tech which is being built, but I just think we're so, look at this, we just cannot find acceptance back above 80. All right, and the longer we build out here, the more chance this move happens. So I'm not bullish on silver, whereas I think like maybe some of the others, there's a more of a chance for it. Oh God, here it goes, vacating. I don't know if any of you are still short. Probably not, I'd imagine. Made it impossible, isn't it? All right, SOXL come back down to that 275, so it keeps failing 280s. It's just balanced in range. Look at this fucking thing. It's going to come right back down to 600s where I said probably. What a prick. Yes, letting go. Oh my God. All right, so if you are short, you want to cover some bottom of this grey box and then down here at 600. And we'll see if we get acceptance under that. I'm going to use the bathroom quickly, and hopefully we don't see a huge puke before I get back. All right, what are they doing? Still in this node. All right, this is the current week. This is a big node. If you zoom out on the H1, this is a big node. You see it here? They hold it all the way down to 6s, basically. It's going to become important. It's going to become important what they do with this here. ES coming back down towards low of day as well. So you got weakness on the ES, surprise, surprise. We're still not under that 275 on the SOXL. I would still look for covers down towards 600. And if we find acceptance underneath 600, then we can think about expansion of value lower because we failed to expand above. But remember, I will remind you, these are your zones. Rotation up, rotation down. Under here, we can think about more. We can also think about the trap back up. So into this is your next cover point, and then 6s. I wish I was in this, but it goes against my rules, like we said. So 6s coming up, so you can cover some into this. Looks weak here. SOXL letting go of 275s now. Hopefully you get your fill down here. Don't be a dick for a tick though, 8. Hopefully you get your fill. If not, they can come back and back test 60s probably if they like find a bid down here. You see that gamma level right there. Hopefully you get under it and you come into this for you guys. But just be aware they can come right back into this again like they have done all day long. They can be arseholes with it. You can keep chopping previous day's value. They will churn and churn and churn until everyone is chopped to death to build that liquidity. It can easily do that. Closing in lunch. Well, we've got 34 minutes left, my friend. Can I get the 6s for you guys? They're still bidding down here at the moment. Surprised they haven't filled. They keep doing this where they leave these limits just sat there and don't fill them. Done it a few times recently. Oh, still not filling them. Still they're looking to hold this level. 615 is key. Big gamma level. High volume level. Yes, finding a bid in front of low of day. Back above 275 SOXL. So if they lift this now, they will come and test that last wick, which was 78. If they get through that, they're going to go back up to 80 again, and they're just going to keep doing this dance here forever and ever and ever and ever until one side is sufficiently caught. You're right at current week point of control on the H1. This is still fair value. So you would need to see a rejection of this range above for any downside action. Otherwise, we're going right back into the chop zone that you've just been in, and it would be a failed look below of this zone if they don't stay heavy up here. Wow, wow, wow. What is going on here? That was quick on the book. Very quick rejection and very quick absorption. That happened in, what, half a second, if that? So a buyer just stepped in at 30s on that rejection back down, and now they're trying to walk it up. I'd be careful here, folks. This looks gross. This looks gross on the book. Buyers just come in very aggressively on right here. Very aggressively right there. Is this Tanuki Gex levels? Yes, it is. All right, here's the test of the 278s on SOXL. If they fail this, back down to 275. If they reclaim this, back up to 280, and they'll have another go for a high of day break. And their bids still coming in now, trying to walk up all of a sudden. I don't know what's changed, but something's changed because the bids have suddenly shown up. They weren't there before. So they like something. Maybe they just like the trap underneath. Maybe it's come back down enough to point of control from current week enough. But there are bids now on this market, suddenly very interested in moving price higher, which have not been there before. Here they come, all the way back up. All the way back up to point of control. How do I use Bookmap for trading? Just looking at large orders? No. Like, I can't understand when I see people teach that. Oh, there's definitely just orders here. They have to. No. Like, I don't care about large orders that are above or below by themselves. I care about who's moving, who's supporting the bid, who's being aggressive, where the stop hunts happen, where I see absorption. Like, literally, it's watching level 2. Like, so much amateur hour out there being like, these levels are up here. It has to come there. That's where I'm trading to. Okay, why? Explain to me why. It's mad. There's some madness out there in my mind from what people say. Oh, you see these up here? It's coming here because I said so. Really? What about all those times it didn't come there, but you don't talk about it? All right, SOXL held 75, reclaimed, well, dunked under, held 75, back through to 78, straight back up to 280 again. Chips still rotate. And I tell you what, they probably have a chance now to lift given the wash that just happened there. This feels very, very different to how it did even 10 minutes ago on the book. Even 10 minutes. I can't believe they didn't give you a fill at 6s down there. What low did they get? 15s. So just gamma, just options players just running this market right now. Back into this high volume node here again. So if they hold 6, well, I'm not going to say that. If they hold low 660s, then you probably lift. How are we doing on the likes here? Still not there, folks. Still short. I don't know why we have to do this every day. Going to get to the point where I'm just going to move the likes up because people come here, make their money, and don't do the most basic thing in return. I don't ask for any money in return. Just hit the like button so that you guys can get free content or free accounts. You guys won't even do that for me nowadays. It's crazy. A seller at 705s now, and he's not walking down. Mate, this thing's going to lift. I think this thing's going to lift now. I think they've caught enough. I don't understand why they would do this otherwise. I'm not trading it. I'm just saying, like, I don't understand why you would do this move otherwise. We'll see. They hold 65-ish. It would be an indication of that, I would say. Failed 280s again, though. Really? Let's see if there's news swirling. All right, see if they hold 660s here. They've held in front of it so far. Mate, this is like, I don't understand why. If you're going to do all that work, why not hold the bid? Kind of peculiar. Kind of peculiar. All right, here's 660s. See if they hold the bid here or not, because it'll be an indication of higher if they do. If they don't, then they've just done a trap both ways for no reason, really, is how I'd read it. Literally no reason other than to chop, which might be what it is by the looks of it if they can't hold this. Big fail. All right, so 280, 275 SOXL. That's the rotation, and they are not willing to move outside of that rotation, which is amazing because they trapped enough on that last flush down. So I'm still ignoring all of this until we get outside of range. When we get outside of range, I'm very willing to do something. I am surprised. That seems like another shift in tone here. Big fails. Wow. So no hold of 660s. Back down. Maybe now you get that fill at 600s. I don't know if any of you are still short. It would be hard to be short in that, I would imagine. Rejection of node, though. Chop and slop? Yeah. I mean, it is. This is why we're avoiding... Well, this is why I've done everything to avoid this other than where did I get stopped out? Here when I had to go. All right? But this, I am interested here, not really even here today. I'm actually more interested in what happens around here today. If you had only TV footprint, TradingView footprint, or Bookmap, what would I choose? Bookmap all day long. All day long, because you can build in a delta profile. You can see the trap delta on TradingView. Currently, you can't. You can do it within each candle, but I think it's a bit harder to read. So yeah, Bookmap. I like I say, when I go on holiday and stuff, I don't trade because I feel so blind if I don't have Bookmap. It's like my brain can't operate without it anymore. It's weird, but it can't. Okay, look at that. Back up towards the 280s. It's going to try and go again. On the semis, let me just check the breadth again. Let's just refresh this. Yeah, semis still holding the bid. Amazing that the weakness in ES, given what we're seeing here. I guess financials are not looking good. Do you teach delta in the order flow? Yes, my friend, JD. Yeah. We go over delta divergence, all of that. There are also some private lessons. If you're in Discord, if you say, or all the beginner to advanced, no, it's in the order flow course, but also in Discord, there are some recordings of private lessons where we have specifically gone over it. I am going to add some more stuff to the volume and order flow course. There's a few more things I want to do, like on aggression and aggression rejection and stuff, which I haven't put in. Okay, another rejection up there of previous day point of control as they continue to just do a dance here. I'm surprised they haven't come to 600 to test it at this point. This dance is non-stop. Here's 630s. Are you going to test 600s? I am surprised they haven't. Here they come. They're going to try and test 600. So 615s, remember, is the gamma level. Oh my God. Some absorption down there in front of 615s take place. My days. Why not finish the rotation though? Why not just wick everyone out to 600 and then make a decision? Why do the dance here? Bidding 620s, you might get it now. There's enough to fill down here to 600s now. Maybe you guys get it now. Please fill the rotation. Please, NQ. Because I can do something once we get to 600 either way. But if you can get there for me, I can make a decision. Can you please come to 600 and below? There's your 15s, the gamma again. If you were short, you got to be paying yourself here. I'm waiting to see what happens at value area low. Because it's current day and previous day. So I just want to see what happens in here. All right. Are they going to set one of these? Or are we going to see this play here and maybe even here set up for this afternoon? So I'm waiting to see what happens here, in here, basically. Value area low, current day, previous day. I did not have Marvel in my portfolio, no. I wish I did. Be nice if Jensen would have sent me a text saying, hey, mate, I'm going to pump the absolute shit out of this for a couple of days. I mean, let's get it up. I haven't checked it this morning. Did it give any back? I mean, you had to take profit, didn't you? I mean, look at this gap, double gap up, gap and go, gap and go. Oh my God. Does anyone else think this is not normal? In a large cap, best part of 50%, a 50% move in 2 days. What's the float on this mother clucker? $266 billion stock. So how much did they add on? Like 130 billion or something overnight in 2 days. It's bonkers. It's absolutely bonkers, mate. Here's 100 bill because I said it's going to go to a trill. I wish I could do that. Talk about influence. This feels like all the small caps. Well, I tell you one thing it feels like to me. It feels like the turn on COVID. During COVID, 2020 to 2021, when I stopped trading small caps, was for this reason. Everything started lifting. Every turd in the market started lifting. Every single turd was like, well, you'd wake up and you'd see 5 stocks between 100 and 1,000% gap up. It's starting to feel like we're at that kind of point, at that tipping point where they're like, yeah, let's send it. Let's just send everything. There will be exit liquidity. I don't know what that will be or why. I tweeted about it yesterday. Like, there's probably going to be exit liquidity at some point. You wonder if this is all it. When the money dries up. Well, it's funny you say that. Look, this is one of the things I've been thinking. You got SpaceX and Anthropic IPOing, right? How do they hold the bid on that, on the IPOs? They're going to have to create liquidity for it, which means what? They're going to have to exit something. So maybe we get a big exit on current holdings, i.e. semis. Like, what if, hear me out here, right? A bit of a, what would you call it? A bit of an idea. What if the drive on semis, right, has all been to create a vast abundance of profit where they can take, right, a huge chunk out now. They could sell very, very hard, the semis, to take their profits so that they can prop up Anthropic and SpaceX on IPO. It's possible. The money's got to come from somewhere. It ain't coming from nowhere. It's got to come from somewhere. All right, here's your previous day value area low. So now, it's perking my interest now of either the trap or the continuation follow through, depending how we act down here. So this is your cover point for some of you guys. And we're at 275 again on SOXL. So it can still bid back off this 275 up to 280 again if they want to do that range. So you should have covered into this 600 that we talked about, right into here. A hot take. There you go. A hot take. That's what I was trying to look for. It could be wrong. It could be wrong, but I just wonder, like, where's the money coming from? Where is the money coming from? It's got to come from somewhere. Right, they're bidding here at 600 all the way down to 575 at the moment. So I'm still waiting to see how we act when we get in here. Are we going to flush this thing right back down towards the lows, or are they going to trap and then rebid value back up? 275 starting to look a little bit soft on the semis here. Looks a little bit soft on the semis. Still not filled this liquidity below again. Still just resting there, waiting to get filled, these buyers at 6s and unders. I've got a feeling we're going to flush out here. Not far, but enough to fill these guys. Here you go. There's the 6s. You get follow through here. Big seller coming in. Do you get follow through the sixes? And if so, is there a trade possible if we do see that? From Bitcoin, I don't know. Like Michael Saylor, did he sell 70 Bitcoin yesterday or something? Did I see that? Causing that little Bitcoin drop. Like I said, like BTC, I got rid of a lot of my IBIT on that drive up. We hit the key targets. I went over it in Discord yesterday or the day before. I can't remember. All right, here's the sub sixes. I'm watching this now to see if it's followed through or failed follow through under here. Do they trap and come back into range? All right, and then if they do, how do they react at sort of 28s and 30s? Running out of time here as well. It's 15 minutes left. So I'll watch this, see if we come up to 28 and 30s and reject, see if there's going to be a follow through trade downside today to come under value for previous day. Is there a way of getting involved? I'd rather we pop and reject than just sell under sixes, but we'll see. Here comes the follow through. Oh, is there a way of grabbing this for the puke out? There's an imbalance here into 90s if you're still short. I'm looking to get involved in the sell, trying to find a way. Is there a way? Is there a way? So I was right on my reads. I smell a rat. Here's the rat. Here's the rotation of value. Now it's a question of, I've smelt it. Can I get it? Are you going to let me eat? Right, previous day low here, ES. Coming back in towards low of day. I think you're starting to see some weakness here on the tape. Still not in. I want to see like either 600 or sort of 628 revisit so I can get something on here for a meltdown back down towards low of day and Globex lows. Big seller coming in here at the lows. You're going to see follow through. Man, you're going to get, I think you're going to get a puke. It's going to go without me if it does. So this is the next node, the next grey box. You've gone box to box again. Oh, it's frustrating. It's really frustrating for me. I'm feeling a little bit tilty. Even though big green day, well, not green, not big green, okay green day, a little bit tilty. See if we can come up. I really need to retest the sixes. Don't think we're going to get it. Previous day low, low of day coming up here on ES. Please lift up a bit, for fuck's sake. Let me in. I've waited the whole time for you to leave the range. Please let me in. No, you're not going to. You're just going to absolutely give a dumper, aren't you? Huge fail under 275 now as well. SOXL. Don't really want to be a new money short in this grey box. High volume node. They can hold this. I need to see pops fail. These are cover points, not new entry points. Seller coming on the tape here. 200 lot, just above 90. So we'll see if we can come up for that 600 test, which is what I'm looking for. I'll just move my box on NinjaTrader. Great. Well done, Alex, you idiot. Right, here we go. Let's see how we act at sixes. So either they're going to reject this and we're going to see follow through, or it's going to be a look below value and we're going to trade right back inside range. So watching this both directions now to see what they want to do. I've got to be careful, getting very close to lunch here. So either they're going to sell 6 and 628s, or we're going to go straight back inside range, hold all dips, fail break out of range, and we're going to go straight back up to sort of 680s. About to find out which way they want to send this. Buyers coming on the tape here, looking to see if they get trapped or not. Not much of a reaction yet into my level. Not seeing a trap yet. Not seeing them. But I'm not seeing sellers like slam these buyers down. In fact, sizing's starting to shrink down. Perking my interest now on that reaction if they fail the next push up. All right, put a little piece on here in case there's a little imbalance here. They can hold this imbalance. I'm only risking that value. I'm not risking above it. Don't want to get my don't want to get sliced out. There is a seller at low day. Auction at low day doesn't look bad, actually. I want to be careful. And certainly there's a seller at 05. So above this, I'm out. And this, I will play this the other way if they hold the bid now. So out this now. If they hold the bid now, I'll play it the other way back upside. If you just do the same as you did to me on downside and scream this upside without letting me in, I'm going to be miffed. Miffed if you lift this without letting me in. I ain't bidding 605s with you, mate. Not if you're doing that. I'm not long in this. I don't like what I just seen there. No, no longs for me here. I was considering it. I don't like what they're doing here on the book. They might lift it, but I don't like that. Oh, you naughty boy. You left, came back, came back, and then market bought. You naughty, naughty, naughty boy. You stopped me taking it there. Oh, well, gone without me. There you go. I really wanted to get long there, and he pulled his bid, put it on, pulled it again, and then hit the market. He stopped me taking it. He's too smart. He was too smart for me then. God damn it, man. Why couldn't you just left your bid there, and then I would have bid on it with you? You bugger. You just cost me a trade. It's a good trade as well, with 30 points up from it now. Horrible, horrible man. Too high now to bid. Oh, man. What a fucking asshole. What an asshole. He outsmarted me. He outsmarted me. All right, they're going to have to hold this same bid now. It's where he played his games into sort of 605s. If they don't hold that, they'll be in trouble. Yeah, they just held it. Oh, there's a wiggle here. Oh, wiggly, wiggly worm. These sellers are trying to test that 605. The exact level where I said he played a naughty game. Here you go. 605 test. This becomes important. If he's left the tape then, he's been a naughty boy and he's just lifted it to sell. Oh, it's tempting to sell this now because he's been a naughty, 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 naughty boy. Do I want to sell you now? This I'm watching this 605. That is the level right here, right now, to make a decision. He's trying to bid here again. He's a little bit stuck. 6.5 to 6.10-ish. I'm not in anything. I'm just telling you where he's a little bit stuck right now. Oh, SOXL's holding. No. Leave alone. This is a leave alone for me. That's a great bid on SOXL. I think we're going to sell it, but it's a great bid on SOXL. I'm going to have to wait for confirmation here. I know, sorry guys, I'm being very finicky here, but it's because of the guy on the tape. It's not because of the level. It's literally, to make you understand, when I got short against value, we came over value, I was like, right, I'll bid on value to go back upside. He had his bid there, all right? He pulled his bid. He put his bid on. He pulled his bid. He put his bid on. He pulled his bid, and then he went market. Bang. We went right upside, and we've come straight back to where he is. And he's like, here now, and now there's a ton of selling. There was a 112 lot, 69 lot, 66 lot, and 14 lot, all between 610, 605, right? We're compact where he's playing games. I just don't want to get caught if there's a whale playing games. I don't feel good about a bid now, that's for sure. I don't think we hold. I know you're saying we should hold. I've got a feeling here that he's played a nasty game here. Like, there is selling caught underneath, but this is previous day value or low. Remember, I've tried to play this, and then I flipped wanting to go long, and he started pulling his bid, so I left. Now, if he's left, if he's got his order here and he's done, this can wash the whole thing. It's a big if, but, and maybe right now, but ES didn't sweep lows, so you got a double bottom at those lows. That's left extra liquidity there to come down for. SOXL came under 275, reclaimed 275, is now stuck at 276s. And you're into lunch. I've got a feeling here that this guy might leave the tape. And if he leaves the tape, we don't trade feelings, but if he leaves the tape, you're going to see this thing let go. Very who? What do you mean very who? Whoever I don't know who this player is. Could be anyone. Could be anyone, but some form of big hand. Baron. Yeah, I mean, it could easily be Baron, mate. Could be anyone. Could literally be anyone. All right, that's a better hold. I'm not bidding this, like I said. For me, there's just too many games here, and I feel very uncomfortable into lunch with this player being what me and my wife would call a fucking sausage, mate. It's ICT. Tell you one guy, it definitely isn't. It's him. All right, back to this. Look at this 610 605s. You just wonder, are we about to let go here? Either that or there's some newsprint about to hit. No one's ready for it, and it's going to go wild. It's a big level. 605s again. You can see the importance of this level. All the sellers, there's a 200 lot up at 650. How long till lunch? I'm going to stay with you a few more minutes into lunch, just in case we get a setup. How are we doing on the likes? We got, oh, nice. We got enough likes. So once we just, I'm going to focus on the setup for a minute. And if it doesn't show, then we'll do the giveaway. And if it does show and we take it, we'll do the giveaway after we exit the trade. So I'm watching to see if they hold or break down here. I'm just interested in how we act at this level right now. I think we might let go just because ES hasn't swept the low. SOXL all depends if it holds this bid at 275 or not. If they hold the bid, then we're just going to get divergence where ES breaks down to the low and semis come up, and then there's not really much of a trade we can do that. Okay, here we go. This is the first move back under sixes. Now, do they stay heavy? There is an imbalance down at 87s. So if we play expansion here, we're going to need to see some strong rejections start to show up, and we're going to need to see these sellers at 630s start to walk down and protect price. We're not seeing that right now. Back to 605 again. Big buyer came in here at 605. What's the hourly saying? Doesn't look great. Higher low and lower high. That might be a good indication to leave this alone. F this market. Why F this market? It's actually traded pretty well. I think it's been trading pretty technically. Okay, that's another holder 605. So they should now, they've done enough of a wiggle under there. I'm not going to trade the long, but they should now hold dips at 605s for that move all the way back up to 650, 660. They've got to get, I think it's, the problem here is the gamma. So if they can do this is what they want at the moment. I'm more interested in this personally than this return to range. I'm more interested in that and this than I am in this personally. Yeah, I think this market's pretty good. I don't think it's a bad market. Even you know, I'm not a big range trader, but it's still providing opportunities. New hourly bar here, folks. Be aware of that. New hourly bar. So here they go. They're trying to get you through these 25 and 30 to get you up to 50s. And SOXL is trying to get back up to those 280s. All right, I'm going to leave this alone. I want to play the breakdown, but it's not coming. So we'll just set up this giveaway instead. We would be surprised if the hourly doesn't put a wick in underneath here. But there we go. We're into lunch. I'm going to avoid it. All right, you know the score. Just type FZT once in, please. Please don't spam. Just type it in once. Mate, if they drop this now after I've just done the fucking competition. Oh, you arseholes. Okay, I'm going to focus in here. The competition's going. There's an imbalance here. Oh, you absolute buggers. Right, here's the wick on the hourly we just talked about. Imbalance here. Absolute clowns. They're watching the stream. They got to be watching the stream. As soon as I finish, they do it. Absolute clowns. I want to sell versus sixes at the moment. They're too low now. Low of day coming here, I think. Where's that seller court? 73s. I think you're going to get lower day and then a break under that. Globex is 61s. So we're watching this swing here. I'm watching 74s and 61s, and then acceptance under that will get us to lows. Missed it, haven't I? Missed it. I've missed it. All right, let's pull this winner. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Oh, that's a long name. Porcher the Bulldog Scotty Chan 5182. What a long name. Why would you have that as your name? That's so long. Congratulations. Porcher the Bulldog Scotty Man. Let me know you're here. Let me know you're here in chat, please. All right, return back to sixes. Nice, congrats. Okay, all you got to do, email me, info@flowzonetrader.com. Send me a screenshot of you logged into your YouTube. Once you do that, I will sort you out straight after the stream with a new Apex account. All right, free Apex account. How are we doing on likes? We are a little bit short for the course giveaway. All right, so that be it today, folks. We'll be back same time tomorrow. Everyone in Discord, I'll pop in there shortly. We'll go over par things for this afternoon. Hopefully we can get a continuation trade. I really don't want to see a range trade for the rest of the day, but we'll see what we get. And I'll see you guys tomorrow morning, same time, all right? 9:15 in the morning. Please get here early so you can go through the par things. It saves me going through the questions a million times. Nice work today. Peace and love, use hard stops, all that good stuff. I'll see you real soon.